train, including lots of crows. So also in your home environment, welcoming everything. And I always picture it's a photo from years ago, probably decades at this point, of someone sitting in the middle of Times Square. Chaos, just cars, everything, and she's just there and meditating or whatever. So just remembering that is, to me, part of the practice. It's like that reminder of this is what we train for. This is why we do all these things like yoga and meditation and mindfulness and etc. Even your other fitness type of things that you do. It's to train for life. So as you get set up today, just having perhaps all of that somewhere in the back of your mind around you of, life's not quiet, training for life, why did you show up today? Let's get started. So we'll do a little bit of movement for all levels here today. Of course, take what you need and leave what you don't. As you get comfortable in a seated pose, you might take a pillow or a block underneath you and settle in, like literally settle into your seat. Make sure that you are truly comfortable. You have the things you need. And as you roll your shoulders up, back, and down a few times, it's being reminded of your home space of your body, your temple, your vehicle. But feel this physical thing you've got, your legs, your torso. You might even put your hands on your chest if that helps you remember, like, oh yeah, I've got a body. Put your hands on your low back, touch your arms, touch your hands, maybe rub your hands together if you happen to be someplace chilly. And as you lengthen it through the crown of your head, feel your spine. Feel from your tailbone up, holding the weight of your head on top. As the shoulders stay relaxed, deepen your breath. The hand on the belly. Start to notice how you're breathing. Breath work becoming very forefront these days for all the right reasons. It's transformative. It can be. Whether you need to transform from just the state you are in to a more desired state. Whether that state is energizing you or calming you down, like how do you want to feel, and recognize that the breath can do that. Begins by tuning into it though. Is the breath full? Is it shallow? Is it more left or right in your lungs? Put the hands on the sides of the lungs and ribs. As you check in with your low back, your seat, readjust if you need to. If the legs have been crossed, you might switch the crossing of your legs. And then stretch your arms into the air and literally wave them around like you just don't care. Just wave and shake your arms. Shake, shake, breathe, stretch. Breathe more through your nose if possible. Let your arms shake and move. One more round of just shaking, reaching, stretching. And let your hands rest again on your lap. Knowing that that is also yoga, shaking it out. So as you're here and you're situated, bring your attention to your heart. Your heart. Put a palm or two palms on your heart. Take a couple breaths. Tune into your heart. Tune into this place, not just of physical beating, but of sensation, of feeling love here, sending love out and feeling love come back in. There's a lot going on in the world right now. So being okay with just being okay, or being okay with feeling joyous, being okay with feeling lower, being okay with feeling all of those things within a matter of moments. You're not crazy, you're just human. As you shift yourself off to one side, open the eyes. The seat flat or on the floor. And as your feet come out in front of you, hip distance, let your hands come behind you. Roll your shoulders back and rock your knees side to side. Let your eyes look up towards the ceiling. Option to close the eyes at any time.
As you rock your knees back through to center, let your feet come like wherever you need them to come. Shift your weight forward, come into a yogi squat. So your toes can be just a little turned open. You're here for just a moment. And then as you lower your heels down, lift your hips up and bow your torso over your legs. Turn your toes forward, standing forward fold. Bend your knees, turn your toes out just a little bit and squat towards the floor. If you need to be near furniture, that's okay. And then start to lengthen the legs, turn your toes forward, back into your fold. Take one more, turn the knees and the toes open, squat down. And then start to press your hips up. Hang in your forward fold, toes forward. Middle toes forward. Lift and spread all your toes. And then land the toes and grip your mat and feel the strength in your feet. Lift and spread your toes and take one more. Relaxing of the toes and gripping with the feet. Well, bend your knees, put your hands on your low back or hips, and as you rise up, tuck the hands into your low back as you roll the shoulders open, pull the elbows back, lift your chest. Turn to center. You're in your mountain pose, so I'll be spinning around as we go. You can face whatever direction you need. Feet are right under the hips. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Turn your palms to face forward. Inhale, the arms come up overhead. Look up. Exhale, bend your knees, open the arms wide, and diving down to your toes, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips to the shins, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms on the mat. Step back into a tabletop. One knee comes down, other knee comes down. Open the fingers wide. Inhale, lift your chest for cow. Exhale, coil the spine through cat. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift your chest, cow. Exhale, press down and round through cat. A couple more rounds, inhaling forward, arc through the heart. Exhale, push down, squeeze through your cat back. Take one more cycle here, just remembering that this is enough today. As I introduce Chaturanga's planks, all the stuff. If this is feeling really good, do more of it. As you move your hips to your heels, walk the arms forward and rest into your child's pose. Forehead rest somewhere. Floor, hands, block. Take one more breath into your back, belly, sides. As you lift your body back up, this time building into a plank. So you can always hang out on table or take the hands forward. Stretch your legs back, feet are hip distance. As you hold into plank, push the floor down. Stretch the spine forward. Now spread the fingers, although you're on the hands and wrists, spread the fingers wide. Grip with your fingertips, claw into your mat. Feel that strength in your hands. And then bring your knees down underneath your hips. And just for a moment, rise up. Hips stack over the knees. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Now tuck your toes under. Bring your hands to your low back and just gently lean back to stretch your feet, lift your chest up. And come back to neutral. Take one more. Toes are tucked. Lean back. Stretch your feet. Come back forward. Plant your palms on the mat. Take your right arm out and up to the right. Breathe in. Exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left arm. Go as far as you can. Press your left hand into the floor. Inhale, lift your right arm. Exhale, thread the right arm under your left arm. Take one more. Lift the right arm. Thread the right arm under. Hold it here just for a breath. Reach. Push left palm into floor. Lift your right arm to the sky. Return your right hand to the mat and switch. Left arm comes out and up. Breathe in. Exhale, thread your left arm under. Two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread. Take one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, snake the left arm under. Hold just for a breath. Don't hold your breath. Push your right hand into the floor. Lift your left arm to the sky. And then return your left hand, tabletop pose. Wag your tail. Soften your elbows. As you come through to center, wrist right under your shoulders, extend your right leg straight back. Feel your right toes point down to the floor. Stretch your nose forward and now bend your elbows a few inches. Squeeze your elbows to your sides and straighten your arms. Bend the elbows, straighten the arms. Take one more, squeeze them through the belly. Now hold the arms straight. Reach your left arm forward, left arm, right leg. Look down to the mat, breathe in, and exhale, elbow to knee. Take two more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, get long, hold, and return to the mat. Tuck your toes, walk your hands to your feet. You'll ride near the back of your mat in a forward fold. In your arms, shake it out. Inhale, fingers to shins, look down the length of your mat, half lift. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, reverse your swan dive, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale the arms by your sides, move your shoulders up, back and down. Inhale, lift the arms, grab the right wrist. Exhale, pulls the right arm up and over to the left. Lean into the right leg, tap your left toes to the left. Option to lift your left toes off the floor. Place your left foot all the way down, lift the arms high and switch. Grab your left wrist, pull up and over. Press more through the left foot as you tap your right toes right. Option to lift the right leg off the floor. Place the right foot down, relax the arms by your sides. Big shoulder roll up, back and down. Inhale, lift the arms, look up. Exhale, forward fold, look down. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look down your mat. Exhale to forward fold. Bend your knees, walk your hands all the way out back into your plank pose. Hold onto your plank. Wrists are underneath your shoulders. Push the floor away. Feel your strength. Lower the tops of your knees down, right above your kneecaps. Pick your feet up. You're in a modified plank. So you're going to feel a little scoop of the tail, just enough to keep the belly in. Push the floor away. Now rotate your ankles. Wiggle your toes. Circle around. And pull back into child's pose. Take a full breath. Return to your tabletop as you rise up. Stretch your left leg straight back. Push the floor away. Feel your left toes pointing more to the floor. Your left hip is wrapping down to face the mat. Bend your elbows just a few inches and hold this time. What's going on in your low back? Squeeze the belly in, a little tuck of the tail, and then straighten the arms. Take two more. Bend and straighten. One more. Bend and straighten. Then reach your right arm forward. Get long through your limbs. Breathe in. Exhale, elbow to knee, arch the back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee, pull up through your mid back. Get all the air out of your lungs. Take one more. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen, hold, and then return to your table. Rock your hips side to side. While you're here, flip the back of your hand and let it rest on the mat. Just take one, gently pull back. Just a little stretch for the top of the wrist. Plant the palm switch, let your other hand. Top of the hand is resting on the floor. Just gently pull back and switch. Now come to center and just step the right foot forward. Ankles under the knee. Fingers can frame the right foot. Option to use the blocks if you need them. Tuck your back left toes. Feel this runner's lunge. Now you can always lower your left knee down or start to build into your first high lunge. Now hips are forward, toes are forward. And grab with your right toes. Grab the ground. And start to play with how you can build strength from the foot and ankle up into your right knee just by using the foot, pushing the heel down. And feel that as you keep pushing down. Then find a way to soften and balance out the pose. Feel your back leg there, whether you have your left knee up or down. Stretch your head up to the sky, roll your shoulders more onto your back. Arms can stay low or stretch them high. Breathe in. Breathe out, lean forward, lower your fingers, and then come up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Do it one more time. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, lower all the way down. Stand into your right foot. Lift your left leg. Step your left foot to the top of your mat. Soft landing. Inhale, fingers to shins, halfway rise. Lean the weight more into your toes. Exhale to forward fold. Bend knees, reverse your swan dive, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands by your sides. Big shoulder roll up, back and down. Feel your heels pressing down. Inhale, lift the arm. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, hang out here. Press into your left foot. Already spread the toes, grip with the toes. Float your right toes up. Look behind you and lunge your right foot all the way back. Now your right knee could come all the way down, or if you feel imbalanced, rise up. Start to build your lunge, hands open to your hips. So on this side, feel that same idea of working your left toes, lift the toes, feel your arch. Grip with the toes, push through your left heel. So it's literally, I mean, I can just feel this whole strength, like a strong tree trunk in this left lower leg. So that's what you're going for. And then as you rise up, you blend it into the rest of the pose. But now you know that you can always go there if you feel a little wobbly. Stretch up through the spine and let your shoulders roll back. Your arms may go down or up. Breathe in. Exhale, lean your torso over your left leg. The arms can flip down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, float down. Take one more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fingers all the way to the floor. I'll spin to your right. Wide leg forward fold. Spin the other way. So as you come into your wide leg fold, then bend into one knee, bend into the other knee. Just take a little movement side to side. Anchor down into the heels. So that strength, that support's always there in your lower leg. When you need it, find it, it's there. And connect with it. Move your feet, get your toes opened up. Look to your front left foot, walk back around, step your right foot to the top of your mat, soft landing. Come into chair pose. If you happen to have a block nearby, squeeze it between your inner thighs. If you don't, pretend. Toes are forward, power of the imagination. Okay, so you're gonna keep the toes parallel, maybe pigeon toed. Sometimes when I say this, some people like go crazy. It's just a little. Feel how that's gonna hug your hips in, squeeze into that block and lower your hips. Arms can be down, out, or up. That's a little pulse here up and down. You might notice you wanna roll into the outsides of your feet or insides of your feet. Connect with the 3 or 4 corners of the feet. Heels, balls of feet, and keep going. Doing a little bit more. Pause, lift your heels. Maybe add a pulse, a few more breaths. You choose your tempo. Heels come down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, relax the arms by your sides. So you still have the block or pretend block between the legs. Soften to your knees. Turn your palms forward and squeeze your arms into bicep curls and release. Squeeze and release. Literally connect, squeeze and release. Squeeze intense. Feel what tension is like. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then open the fingers and relax. One more time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. Shake your arms up. Remove the block if it's there. Shake your right leg. Shake your left leg. Back in your mountain pose. Face forward. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Anchor your palms and step back into your plank. Knees up or down. Hold on to it. Breathe in. Exhale, bend your elbows all the way down to the belly. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the cobra. Exhale to lower. Strong push up and back. Your first down dog. Can you believe it? It's taken us this long. As you come into your down dog, open the fingers wide. I'm going to grip again with your fingertips. I remember years ago when I was teaching in St. Louis, I taught a whole class without a warrior. I didn't even mean to. And my friend was like, you just did a whole class without a warrior. It's like, what if we had a whole yoga class without a down dog? Would it still be yoga? Of course it would. We'll take a few breaths. If you're in down dogs, we'll press through the heels. You can always return to table or come all the way to child's pose. Feel the moment. What's this moment? Is this a physical moment for you? Is it a heady moment for you? Is it a hearty moment for you? Soak it in, whatever it is. This is life. So from down dog or from tabletop to modify, lift your right leg, bend your right knee, open your right hip. If it feels good, just circle it around. Again, you could be in table doing this with the left knee down. Move through your right leg. Now stretch your right leg up and back. Full breath in. Exhale, right knee to your nose. Step your right foot between your hands. Left fingertips underneath the left shoulder. Option for block under left hand, right hip. Start to lengthen through the top of your head and turn to your right. Lift your right arm, twist and lunge. Breathe in. Breathe out, your right hand comes down. Turn your left toes open. 89 degrees, rise up warrior two, bend into your right knee. Fluff your arms out, shake your feathers, turn your palms up. How's the right lower leg doing? Have you connected with that support? Grip with your toes, hug up through the arch. If you want more heat, deepen the bend. If you need to go longer, wider, press through your left foot. Inhale, lift the arms, lengthen the right leg. Exhale, warrior two, let your palms face up, feel the shoulders draw down. Inhale, lengthen right leg, lift your arms. Exhale, warrior two. Take one more, press through the heels. Inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, warrior two. Hold here, hands into fists, squeeze. Inhale, open the fingers. Exhale, squeeze. Take one more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. As you reopen the arms, pause. Easy cartwheel, hands come down to your right foot. Lower your left knee. Turn your left toes forward, lower your left knee. Shift your hips back. Hands frame your right leg, option for blocks. Right toes are straight up to the ceiling as you sit back. Just a moment here. Now walk your hands forward. Wiggle your right leg back behind you. Return to your table with the right leg back, or tuck left toes, lift all the way into your three-leg down dog. Option to bend the right knee, stack and open your right hip. Place your right foot down and press forward to plank. To modify, knees can be down. And place the right palm a little bit more underneath your right shoulder. Turn your toes to the left. Lift your left arm side plank. To modify, immediately lower the right knee. Still good. Pull the shoulders back. Shine the heart forward as you look up to your left fingers. Great. Lower your left hand, come back to center plank, knees up or knees down. Hold your plank. Now bring the knees right under your hips, come back up to a kneel. Lift up below your shoulders, up, back, and down. Stretch your arms up overhead. Turn the palms forward as you bend your elbows. Lift your chest. Some of you have probably done things like this before. Notice if you like to tuck your toes here, if you need a block in the thighs, or if it's something just a little looser. Let's take a moment to free the wrist. To take the arms all the way up, stretch to the sky. Lower back down to your tabletop. Tuck your toes, hover your knees. A little bend in your elbows. Claw, how are your claws? Claw the mat, literally push down. Lift your hips, walk your feet to your hands. To the top of the mat, shake your arms out, bend the knees, and swing your torso to the right. Swing your torso to the left. Swing to the right. Swing to the left. Take one more through, back into center, pause. Bend your knees into chair pose, look forward, lift up. Draw it through the belly. Stand into your right leg. Tap your left toes out to the left. Pull them in. Do that 2 more times. Tap left toes out, pull them in. One more, tap the toes out, pull them in, pause. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, right back into chair, hold. Weight goes into the left leg, tap your right toes out and tap them in. 2 more, out. Belly's in, take 1 more. Right heel comes down, pause. So the knees forward, maybe a little inner spiral like a block is there. A little pulse up and down, press through the heels and the balls of the feet. Inhale, rise up, look up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway rise, rock the weight a little to your toes. Exhale to come down. As you plant your palms, you could step, or hop your feet back, plank. Option for a chaturanga, knees up or down. Cobra or up dog. Push the fur away, down dog or child's pose. Rise back into either table or down dog. Lift your left leg, full breath in. Exhale, left knee to your nose, step your left foot forward, ankle under knee, grab with your left toes, get that leg set, right hand under shoulder or block. Long spine, left hand, left hip as you rotate to the left. Option to pull the left arm to the sky. Could you roll the shoulders even more onto your back? Yeah, feel some space come into the neck. Breathe in. Exhale, lowering your left hand. Back right toes open, 89 degrees. Bend your left knee. Take space for warrior 2. I'm gonna flip it around so I can see you. So as you bend into the left knee, just that reminder again, pressing down through the foot. Opening up through the toes. Deep in the bend. Front knee. So once you have your warrior legs, and it starts from the feet, runs up to your hips, arms are long. Lengthen, left leg. Stretch your arms up. Then come back to your warrior 2. Press down to the left foot, inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior 2. Take 1 more, inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, warrior 2, hold here. Play with something different, not only plugging in the lower legs, but squeeze your heels in and push your feet out for this little hug and reach. Bicep curls in, get all that strength in and then open it up. Squeeze, release, do you want to get a little deeper? Take 1 more big squeeze. It's like the biggest scrunchie ever. You're wondering what's on my wrist. Good. Then pause here in your warrior 2, start to reach forward and slowly return your hands to the floor. Turn the back right toes in as you lower your right knee. Shift back for a half split. Left toes are up to the sky. You could use blocks here to frame the leg. Shift back and down with the hips. Left toes back, breathe. As you come back forward, walk the hands in, sweep that left leg behind you, either table with the left leg long or tuck your right toes. Lift the right knee, stretch your left leg into the air. As the left leg is lifted, bend the left knee, feel a little opening in the hip. Place the left foot down, down dog. 1 more time, lowering your knees to the middle of your mat. Now, if you do have a block handy, take the block between your thighs. If you don't have a block handy, and yes, you can pretend you can also utilize your fists for a moment just to wake up those inner leg muscles. Give it a squeeze, block your fists. Okay, then your toes could be tucked or untucked. See what feels best. Put a hand on your back belly. It takes 1 second. Just check your pelvis, check your hips. You're neutral. Okay? And stretch your arms forward and up. Put your right arm back. Just a little turn of the head. Did you totally let go of your back? Strong belly, neutral hips. Lift the right arm. Now take the left arm back. Put to the left hand. Back up. Now, if it's there to take both of your arms back, they might find your low back and you're not pushing your hips. You're keeping just that perfect little strong tuck. If you know that camel is good for your body, you might sweep the right arm back or left arm back, hand to foot, or heel, opposite arm to the sky. The biggest thing is to re-engage the inner legs, zip up pelvic area, core. Then that zipping, that control creates the freedom for the heart. And believe it or not, the two are connected, this area of your body and the heart area of the body. As you come back forward, lead with the heart, pause, come down, take a seat, and let your feet come out in front of you. Last little bit here, rock a little side to side. As you sit heavy on the sits bones, wiggle some space for the tailbone. Hands come behind your thighs. Come onto the tippy toes. You roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. So squeeze into the low belly, locate a few inches below the navel. Suck that in, even if you have to hold your breath for a moment, squeeze and practice breathing with that. Float your toes. Keep the chest up. Maybe lengthen a leg or two. If you're feeling like a little heat would be helpful today, let go of the legs or don't, hover halfway to the floor. Roll yourself up. Take it 2 more times, halfway down. Pull yourself up, take 1 more. Lengthen, stretch all the way through the toes. As you pull yourself up, cross the ankles, flip back to your plank. Option for a chaturanga flow. Back to either a down dog or a child's pose. Hold here and breathe. Now table or down dog, lift your right leg. Breathe in. Exhale, right knee to nose, hold. Tap your right knee to your right tricep, hold. Step your right foot outside your right hand. Lower your left knee. Lift up for a moment. So you've got your right foot wide, I'll face you. Right foot's out as wide as the mat. Left knee is still lined up with your left hip. If you've got blocks, you might like to use a block or two here under the hands. They're coming to the inside of your right leg. A left hand stays down, either fingertips on the floor or utilize a block here. So you can push down through the fingertips and focus more on then the rise you get up. Right hand, right thigh or inner thigh. Start to press your right knee away, but resist it a little bit too. So as much as you're pushing away, also feel your thigh push into your hand. And just connect with the strength now that's up in your hip. And then if you really want to go for it, move your right toes, even if the foot's flexed off the floor. Can you stabilize the lower right leg? It's going to help protect the knee and allow for a deeper, greater opening. So you have that lower leg starting from the foot up to the knee. A hand can push against the thigh, thigh against the hand. Then you open your chest, pull the shoulders back, spiral your heart more to the right, room to lift your right arm. Hold that boundary in the legs as you open the heart. Bend the right elbow a little bit. Breathe. Lower your right hand all the way down. Check that your left knee feels okay. We're going to pull back into a half split here. The right leg is still a little wider, and that's okay today. You could use blocks underneath you. Right hip, right knee, right toes are out and up. I'll flex the right toes back a little bit, and you might feel okay rotating your whole right leg starting at your hip, knee, and foot out to the right. Just see what feels good. Do not lock your knee totally. Just have a little give in the knee and then pull back. So you get a little more inner thigh along with your hamstring. Now, move slowly, but you can also turn the right toes a little bit in. Little bend at the knee as you pull back. You're opening up the outside of your right leg. Breathing here. As you're ready to come forward, move slow. Let your right leg wiggle back behind. Come back to a tabletop. See what you need. You need to move your hips. You need to move your heart. You need to stretch the leg out. Little down dog, even a chaturanga vinyasa. As you come back into your down dog or your table, hips are high. And inhale, lift your left leg into the air. Exhale, left knee to your nose, hold. Then tap the left knee to the left tricep, hold. Step your left foot outside your left hand as you bring your right knee down. To face you again. So you've got your left foot wide for that lizard lunge setup. And then the hands can be underneath your chest. Make sure the right knee is comfortable here. And as you start to move onto the outside of your left foot, pull the toes back. To your right hand, either fingertips or use the block. This is one of my favorite places to use the block, by the way, because it's not about like no block here. If you do that, you're probably putting too much pressure on the shoulder anyway. So if you can lift the floor to your hand, fingertips or block. Now, left hand, left inner thigh, squeeze the belly and lengthen, and just slowly press your hand into the thigh, but also press your thigh into your hand. And just feel what muscles actually are working there. Pull in and resist. And then, like the full shebang, if it's there today, move your left foot around a little and get the foot worked and feel how just a flex of the toes might help hug some strength up into the shin. Can you feel it? And then as you pull the shoulders back, open the chest, and you feel all this stuff come together. Left knee wide, but left thigh in, belly forward, big heart opening. Boundaries, create the freedom. The left arm may choose to reach up, and the left elbow. Stay light in your bottom right arm. Breathe. I've not forgotten that other side plank, by the way. One breath in. Exhale, coming down, but first we have our half split. So to make sure that the right knee is comfortable, add some padding if you need to, and pull back your left legs out at an angle. Pull the toes up, sit back. Pull the toes up, sit back. Hip, knee, toes all lined up. So sometimes I feel like I'm overdoing the cues, but just for those of you, especially on the replay that I can't see, alignment is everything, especially when you're doing yoga on your own with no live eyes on you. So take a look, gotta be your own teacher here. Hip, knee, toes. It might feel okay to rotate all of that open, just a small degree, sit a little deeper. More inner thigh, or it might feel good to turn the toes up, or even just a teensy bit of pigeon toe. That'll target a little more IT band. Pull back. Breathe. You'll start to come back forward. Gently move the left leg behind you and just feel into what do you need? What does that left leg need? Does it need to just shake itself out? Does it feel nice to go into a big 3-leg dog? Maybe flip your dog. Do you need a little chaturanga flow? Breathe and move. As you come back around, side plank time. So you could start in table, you could start in plank, left hands under the left shoulder, maybe a little forward. You really just have to tune into your shoulder. Turn the toes to the right, lift your right arm. Option to bring that left knee down right away. I'll face you. So it could be modified. The bottom hand, and you are palming a basketball. You are pushing down. Lifting your right hip high, even if you've got the left knee down. Another breath where you are. To come down, move slow. Right palm comes down. Last chance, chaturanga, rest, child's pose. What do you need? As you finish up, spin around, take a seat. Take a drink if you need it. Let the feet come out in front of you. Rock your knees side to side. I do drink water, by the way. Coffee, coffee, coffee. More water than coffee. So as you get the shoulders back, puff your chest up, massage from hip to hip. As you come through to center, you're going to slide the left shin forward. And let your right foot start out in front. And then if it's there, cross your right foot all the way over. So Gomukhasana setup. Now, if you're totally lean into the left hip, move back into the right hip. So you're up right here. Now this could be a good starting point for your right outer hip. Lift up through the spine. If you want to add a little twist, lift up more and just take a little baby turn to the right. Sit heavy on your right hip. Heavier, because most likely you're leaning a little left. And relax the shoulders, turn the belly, then the chest. Now, as you untwist, if you've twisted, come to center. These are all options. You could pull the right foot a little more back and even folding the right knee on top of the left. And if you know it's okay, like I literally, as you see me do, I'm just like shoving the knees in, becoming more stacked here, and then drawing a line from heel to heel, and letting that be somewhat even. So that I actually need to bring my left heel forward a little bit. When you're sitting here, roll the shoulders back. Now, the kicker, the final option would be to do this on your back. So if there is some pressure in your knees, it might feel better on your back. Same shape. So as you come down to your back, however you need to get there, if you need to uncross and recross, totally cool. Or come on down. And so then you can let your feet be open, let the right thigh be on top, and you might adjust the knees, but then don't pull on your knees. You might hold the shins though, or ankles. Move your feet around, pull your feet towards your outer hips, and then breathe. Breathe into your right hip. The legs are crossed, just slowly uncross, re-extend, move around. Bend the knees into your chest if you're on your back and rock up. If you're seated, just wiggle around. We'll finish with that final side. So once you're upright, now let the right leg, left leg be down, right leg be on top, whatever your opposite is. Right leg's on top, right leg's on bottom, left leg's on top. So start with left foot out in front. I think that's a good starting point because it's more important here to get the hips level. If you can keep the hips level and set the left foot over and phase twos over there. Wiggle around, just get used to that. Sit up tall, holding onto the front of the left shin. You can stay or take a slow turn in your chest to the left, shoulders, head. Don't have to turn. If you are, lots of length. Great. If you twisted a slow untwist, here come the extra options. This could be plenty. Just practice leveling your hips. But you could also start to move your left foot more over. Maybe you lean over and mush the knees more and line up your heels. Could be that bottom heel has to come forward again. Even sit in the hips, roll the shoulders up, back and down. This could be plenty. Could be more than plenty. And you might choose to go to your back. So one more time, we'll all end on our backs anyway. So whether you need to come down here, roll on back, or undo the legs, look to the back, let the left leg be on top. You can, of course, stay seated, take a few breaths. Wherever you are, open your feet up. Let the feet pull more towards your outer hips. Breathe into the belly and the back. Hug your thighs together wherever you are. If you happen to still be seated, undo the legs. Maybe windshield wiper the knees. If you're on your back already, you could do the same thing. If you're still upright, just safely, slowly come to your back. Whether you use your boat pose, whatever works today. And just take a little movement in your hips and knees. And begin to stretch your feet straight out and stretch your arms overhead. Feel a tug from feet to fingers, full body stretch. And bend both of your knees, plant your feet hip distance apart. Imagine that block is again between the thighs. Press your arms into the floor and take one bicep curl. Squeeze your hands up towards your shoulders. Good. Press your shoulders down, squeeze the biceps. Now, as you press your arms into the floor, see if you can maintain just a little work in the biceps. Press your arms down. Now feel the backs of the arms, the triceps, as you lift your hips slowly. And then roll your shoulders down more, stay lifted. So think of a chest bump, pull the shoulders back, keep your eyes up as your hips come higher. Hold your bridge. If your hands are close, then bring the hands together underneath you and walk the shoulders even more underneath you. Feel that little glimmer of bicep, tricep. Squeeze and then lift your hips higher. Press through the balls of the feet, lift your heels high, and then keep moving your hips up towards the sky. Feel your heart moving towards your chin. Press just enough through the back of your head so you can't turn your head. You come down and do the fingers, lower your upper back, middle back, and your tailbone comes down. Just pause, take a moment. And then maybe you squeeze the knees to the chest, move around a little bit. What do you need here at the end? You just want to stretch out. Do you like bound angle, the feet in, the knees wide? You need to move your head slowly, release the neck. Just give yourself a few moments to get what you need. Eventually find a place of rest. So you could stay where you are or let your legs extend into your Shavasana. Legs go long, arms can rest. Slip in the shade here. You need a pillow for the knees, for the head. Take the time to rest in Shavasana. In that sweet place when the eyes just close on their own. You might hear the train, you might hear some other sounds in your home, surroundings. So, you know, the world can swirl and tumble and grow and shrink around you. You can still maintain, sustain. There's the practice in yoga, the simple word of contentment, santosha. Just feeling the highest highs, lowest lows. Somewhere in the middle, there's this place of contentment. Sometimes I think of it as acceptance, letting acceptance be a tool that helps bring that contentment. Today, through all the effort you put forth into your physical practice, training the mind along with the body, using the breath, feeling all of that go. All the doing and the focus and the control, let it be. Feel a wave come through of soften, surrender, contentment. Need a little more time. Welcome to stay, of course, just as you are. Need to adjust and still feel like, oh, this is right where I'm going to be. Some sounds you might hear. Let your breath be louder than all other sounds. Even if it's not actually louder, let it be the thing you focus on, because what you focus on is where your attention will go. So
As you move slowly into a final place, whether it's just where you are, if you'd like to move a little to one side, all the way up to a seat, just like where you started. Take a couple breaths. It takes literally less than a minute. Just feel into how you are now. How do you feel? How's the mind? How's the body? How's the breath? How's the heart? Let emotions flow. Welcome it all. Feels appropriate to place the hands either on the heart and belly, or prayer hands may connect. Just take a moment to tune in. Bow down. Mind meets body. Mind meets heart. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste can be a greeting as much as it can be a closing. So I greet you to this next part of your day. Thanks for tuning in.